let's go ahead and talk about angles. So before we start, we need to go ahead and cover some vocabulary word. First vocabulary word I'm going to identify is the word perpendicular. Basically, what you need to know about perpendicular. Perpendicular is two lines that form a right angle or 90-degree angle. Also referred to as a right angle, in case you're wondering. We would write that, we would say that maybe like M is perpendicular, and so it looks like an upside down capital T to N. So this is M is perpendicular to N. So again, perpendicular is two lines that form a 90-degree angle. And so the 90-degree angle will be right here. So it looks like a right angle. So if you make an L with your finger or your two fingers, this is a 90-degree angle right here. Okay. So now we have parallel. Parallel. These are two lines that will never intersect. Intersect means to cross or meet. All right. So what does that look like? Well, it's a line that's like here, like these blue lines on this paper. These blue lines are parallel to one another. All right. And I would show that by sometimes putting a red arrow on both of those red lines, or on those lines, to identify that those would be parallel. Let's identify this as line M and this is line N. So I would write this, if I was writing this down, I would write M and then two vertical lines is parallel to N. So it looks like M and then two L's, N. So this is M is parallel to N. Okay. Next we have a transversal. A transversal is a line that intersects two parallel lines. All right. So for example, over here, here's your two parallel lines right here. So let's call this one A, let's call this one B, we'll call this one C. A and B are your parallel lines, so your transversal line is C. So I'm going to write C right here so that I know that that's the transversal line. So A and B are the parallel lines, and C is your transversal line. Now, when you have a transversal line that cuts through two parallel lines, interior and exterior angles are created. Interior angles are angles between the parallel lines. All right, so if I take my pencil, oh, I dropped it. If I take my pencil here, my interior angles are the angles between the parallel lines. So here's A and B, and so it's everything between. So everything I'm shading here, this is my parallel. These are, my interior angles. So angles 3, angles 4, angle 5, and angle 6 are interior angles because they're between the two parallel lines. Now, exterior angles are angles outside the parallel lines. Those would be the angles that I did not shade. So the angles I did not shade are the angles outside the parallel lines. That would be angle 1, angle 2, angle 7, and angle 8. Those would be the exterior angles. So 1, 2, 7, and 8 are exterior. 3, 4, 5, and 6 are interior angles because they're between the parallel lines. C is my transversal line. A and B are my parallel lines. And unfortunately, in this one example, I don't have any perpendicular lines because I don't have any right angles. All right?